Hazard Mayor Happy Mobilini and Perry County Judge Executive Scott Alexander met today to discuss the city and county's goals for 2022. WYMT's Dakota Maker sat in on the Chamber of Commerce meeting.
The future of local communities was at the forefront of the Hazard Perry County Chamber of Commerce meeting Tuesday morning.
I want to mention too real quick as we talk about the job growth and over the past 3 years we've had over 1,000 new jobs created in the community.
Talking about job growth and infrastructure, both of which officials say are rapidly advancing, a trend they hope will continue this year.
Probably 75 or 80 employees downtown, and town is starting to come back alive.
With 16 new businesses downtown, hopes of keeping that momentum flowing are high. Another goal for 2022, more projects aimed at taking care of their citizens who need a helping hand.
Working on the homeless shelter right now, Bailey is with a crew. And we got the trees cut behind it, we got the houses donated behind it, we got them torn down, cleaned up.
Looking forward to the rest of the year and beyond. In Perry County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials also have plans for a new water plant in Buckhorn. We'll have more later tonight at 5:30. Well, the Hazard Police Department posted on Facebook warning people in the area of a scam call. The police department said a man has been calling from an Ashland number pretending to be a Hazard Police Department officer. The caller will say there is an arrest warrant for the person that answered the call and they need to pay a fine. Police said they will never call about an arrest warrant and ask for money. If you get a call like this, you can let Hazard Police know by calling 606-436-2222. Food banks in Kentucky are seeing a shortage of volunteers due to the pandemic. Directors say they see a lot of volunteer groups test positive before they are supposed to work, leaving food bank employees to fill the gaps at the last minute. Other reasons include fewer people wanting to get out and volunteer due to being scared of exposure. Feeding America, Kentucky's Heartland, even had to shut down their volunteer program once.
Pre-COVID, we used to have equivalent to about 10 and a half full-time employees and in volunteerism. Since COVID, we've struggled some. We had to even close our volunteer center for several months.
Directors say volunteerism has been up and down between new variants of COVID, but when it is down, they struggle to meet the needs of people in a timely manner.
A fairly chilly afternoon continues across the mountains here on this Tuesday. Some of us dealing with some foggy conditions as well. High knob camera out at the University of Virginia Ad Wise socked in with not just the overcast, but the fog as well. Low visibility out there at the moment. Just about the only location we're seeing the heavy fog, at least on the cameras. So just be aware of that if you're headed to and fro around UVA Wise and the city of Norton this afternoon. Otherwise, Buffalo Mountain here in Perry County, no fog, but plenty of clouds, and that's what's kept us from warming up a whole lot during the day today. Low 30s out there right now. Temperatures remain in those low 30s for just about all of us, the only exception being over into the Big Sandy, where they're in the upper 20s right now, even cooler than our normal cool spot there at Wise. Satellite and radar, though, showing those clouds continuing to erode as we head through the afternoon. So eventually, as we head into tonight, we'll see some skies clearing. And as they do, our temperatures will drop down into the low 20s for overnight lows tonight. Now I'll have the very latest on when the chill arrives again and when we can have some slightly warmer temperatures on the way coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. One northern Kentucky man is getting ready to hike the entire Appalachian Trail. Gene Perry plans to start the more than 2,000-mile journey in Georgia using the next 6 months to work his way up to Maine. Perry grew up in northern Kentucky and often traveled to Red River Gorge to explore the trails there. At the age of 20, he joined the military and was based in Washington State, where he also explored hiking, turning it into a lifelong passion.
I had the opportunity to hike in Europe and Central America, portions of the U.S., even sections of the Appalachian Trail. So really most of my adult life, I took on the bucket list item of through hiking the Appalachian Trail.
Perry has been training for the trek for 18 months, even hiring a personal trainer to help him prepare. He will be hiking alone most of the time, packing all of his food, water, tent, and other supplies in a backpack. In the United States, an average of 22 veterans die each day by suicide. To raise awareness, one East Tennessee group is marching together to bring the camaraderie from the battlefield to civilian life. Jared Austin has that story.
Dozens of East Tennesseans are marching 5.11 miles together to start a conversation.
Come out, talk to somebody, because you could be the difference in somebody's life.
Something Army veteran Curtis Driver needed in his life.
I was almost a victim of suicide, and Team Red, White, and Blue saved me.
To help himself, he went on a march with Team Red, White, and Blue.
It was a ruck on the Greenway, and this really nice lady walked with me, and we talked for an hour, and man, I was hooked.
Now Driver is a member of Red, White, and Blue, trying to spread awareness about veteran suicide.
Being an Army veteran and having lost friends to suicide, you know, it's very important to raise awareness and to be available.
Team Red, White, and Blue stresses to anyone marching, people should talk to someone they've never met and march along with them. To signify the 22 veterans who die by suicide a day, 22 pairs of combat boots with American flags in them sat outside 511 Tactical where the march began.
By putting people who have successfully done it together in a place where they can talk about it and really become each other's mentor is going to be the path forward to make the largest impact possible.
Veterans from all different generations and wars marching on together for the common goal of being there for their fellow vets. In Knoxville, Jared Austin, WVLT News.
President Biden is holding classified briefings for House and Senate leadership on the situation with Ukraine and Russia today. It comes one day after 8,500 American troops were put on high alert. It also comes as Russia releases new video of military drills near the border with Europe, raising concerns about a possible invasion. The Defense Department will not rule out the possibility of even more troops being put on high alert. Ukraine's leaders are trying to downplay concerns, saying an invasion from Russia does not appear to be imminent. More parties and more problems for the British Prime Minister. Boris Johnson is now accused of attending not one but two parties celebrating his own birthday at Downing Street when the country was enduring its first COVID lockdown in 2020. His office denies breaking any rules, but these new allegations come just days before the results of an official investigation into the pandemic gatherings that could end up toppling his premiership. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is likely to restrict the use of COVID-19 antibody treatments from Regeneron and Eli Lilly as they are ineffective against the Omicron variant. However, the Washington Post reports the agency will not revoke the emergency use authorization in case the drugs work against a future COVID-19 variant. The FDA did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The College Board has announced the SAT is shifting to an online format. The standardized college entrance exam is going digital for American students in 2024 and international students in 2023. It will still take place in a proctored setting, but students have to bring their own computer. If they don't have one, the College Board can give them a loaner for the day. The changed format shortens the test from 3 hours to about 2. Students will also get their results back within days compared to weeks with the previous format. Waiting for the right time to say, "I resign"? A new one-poll survey says nearly 6 in 10 workers have already drafted a resignation letter. All they are waiting for is the right offer. Another third of respondents said they quit their jobs within the past 2 years. And more than half of those who followed through with resigning said it was the best decision they've made in a long time. Top incentives to quit were better pay, work-life balance, and better working conditions. The red-hot housing market might finally be starting to cool a bit. Home prices rose 18.8% year over year in November, but that's down from a 19.1% increase in October. These numbers are reported by the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index. Despite slowing gains, November's increase was still the 6th highest in 34 years. Prices in 19 cities also saw all-time highs. Phoenix, Tampa, Miami, Las Vegas, Dallas, and San Diego topped the list. Actor Jussie Smollett's attorney says a sentencing date in his case has been set for March 10th. A jury convicted the former Empire actor in December on 5 counts of felony disorderly conduct for his 2019 hate crime hoax. Smallett was found guilty of falsely reporting to police that he was the victim of a hate crime in January of that year. The case drew national attention and caused outrage for days until it became clear Smallett made the story up. Smollett's defense team said it will appeal the verdict. Coming up on First at 4, Google may be heading to court over claims it made about user privacy that some say are deceiving customers.
And we're not done with those average temperatures just yet, but we're also not done with winter's chill. I'll have the full breakdown just ahead.